Starting on Tuesday night, Scotty Sattler and Matty the Rat Rogers joining. Now, we were going to do another segment here, but as I was just walking to go to the toilet out the front of the office,
nice.
Kieran Foran walked out of the
Loitering.
female. He walked out of the female toilet.
Loitering. He was
And I
just
said,
loitering.
Foz, can we just grab you for a sec? So Kieran Foran, I've just dragged him in and kidnapped him to talk about how good the Titans are going at the back end of the season. How are you, Foz?
I'm going well, thanks.
How's the body?
It's
I've got to
good.
say, you look young.
I feel great.
Yeah.
Yeah, feeling good.
Do you think the move to number 7 has made and explain to the listeners why it's significantly different from playing number 6?
Yeah, look, I do think it's helped me. It's been a pretty smooth transition, and in saying that, I guess a lot of people think they're reasonably similar, but I reckon when you're playing 6, you're doing a lot more running. You are digging deeper into the line and trying to create a lot more opportunities, as opposed to when you got the 7 on your back, you're probably sitting back a little bit more and steering the ship. And I think for where I'm at physically and age-wise, I think it's really worked for me.
Now, Foz, you brought up age. I didn't. I went to the season launch at the start of this year. Now, what was that? Some seven months ago. Yep. And I said to Sats, I said, mate, I can't believe how young this team looks. They just look like a bunch of babies. One of those babies that I saw on that night was a fella by the name of Keanu Kinney. What a player he has become. I mean, the start of the year, I was a bit nervous for him. He seems to have really found his feet and just stamping his authority on games now, and they just can't seem to get a hold of him. Tell us about his development throughout the year and the impact that you certainly brought the average age up in the group.
Yes.
But what have you been able to do to help these young guys manage an NRL season? Because it's his first real full crack at it, isn't it?
Yeah, look, he's a superstar, and he was obviously training with us last year, and we all saw the potential. He played, I think, 4 or 5 games for us last year off the bench, and huge raps on this young guy that had been signed by the club. So obviously we were excited to see what he could produce, and full, pre-season this season. And he, I must say, he's one of our fittest at the club for a young guy. He wins basically all the running. As I said, super talented with the ball in hand. So, yeah, and it probably the start of the year was a bit rusty, but from all of us. We couldn't find our groove, and unfortunately he sort of fell into that same bracket. Had a few weeks off, and, mate, he came back in, and I reckon it was the game against Newcastle where he finally felt at home in first grade, and he felt like he belonged. And I reckon from that point on, his rise has just been meteoric. It's been unbelievable.
It has been. And I'll tell you another one. And we spoke to Sats and I, we went out to your training and we spoke to a few of your players, a bit of off-the-cuff stuff. And Jojo Fafita, he was never invested in being a rugby league player.
I don't think he knows how good he could be,
Rugby union, and he's a big body, he's fast, he's strong. He had a wow of a game on the weekend against the Broncos. I mean, how good can this kid be?
Mate, he can, look, the sky's the limit again for him. I mean, a freakish athlete.
Yep.
And I think for Jojo, it was about getting his belief that he is the player.
Belonged.
Yeah, that he belonged there and he could play in first grade like how he was in the lower grades, because there was probably a period there where he just wasn't backing himself. But, I mean, if you watch him on the weekend and you watch his growth over the last few weeks, it's been exceptional. Look, he's one of the best athletes I've ever seen, all-round athletes.
Can you tell me, Foz, because, I like to say that teams are Des fit. And what I mean by that is there's fitness, then there's game fitness, then there's Des fitness, which is...
Is that like Billy Johnson fitness?
Billy Johnson fitness, where for some reason you just become really resilient and tough defensively. And the Gold Coast Titans have never been known for their defensive resilience, but you seem to have found this this real grit in your defence.
Yeah, look, it's Desi's coaching style, isn't it? I mean, he focuses heavily on your defence. He knows that that's what's in the end going to win you a competition. So we all knew with him coming here that's I guess the approach that he was going to take. But yeah, it's been great to see the transition in the club and the team since he's gotten here. As we spoke about earlier, a bit of a slow start and a bit of a teething phase, but since about round 6 or 7, we've found our our rhythm defensively.
Can you tell me why he sits in the coach's box for so long after the game? Him and Mick Monaghan.
I can tell you why.
Yeah.
because he's processing all the points that we've had scored against us during the game. He's going back over it a million times with the coaches about how we could have stopped each and every try. And could have kept the score at 0, but it's not. So he has to go over it, process it before he comes back into the sheds.
Yeah.
It's just the way the great Desmond's mind works.
Yeah. Oh, look, I mean, you'd rather have someone that cares more about it than not enough about it, right? I mean, and he's certainly that sort of a guy and that sort of a coach, or he certainly comes across that way. A player that got a lot of attention earlier on in the year with the signing to the Gold Coast and came earlier than what expected was Carter Gordon. I messaged you straight away and I said, I hope they keep you on, because for you to be able to mentor a young man like that into the position that, he may play, down the track would be vital. Now, you've signed on, so congratulations. You've signed on for another year, which is fantastic. I think it's a great job by the Titans to do that. How has he been around the playing group? How has he been? I mean, he's never played rugby league. I've seen his numbers in Q Cup have looked pretty good.
Yep.
What's your take on Carter so far?
Can't give the young man a big enough rap. Since he's come through those doors, he has put his head down, worked tirelessly. As you said, he hasn't played rugby league, so that's a fairly big transition that he's embarking on. But, mate, he has slotted in seamlessly. You can see that he's going to be a heck of a player, and obviously is in rugby, but you can see that the transition to league isn't going to take him long at all. He's clearly very intelligent. He's got a great footy IQ, and the thing that stands out for me, Rat, is he is tough.
Yeah, right.
And often, you might look at rugby blokes coming over to league and think, shit, are they going to handle the robustness of it and the physicality of it? But I've watched him step straight in. He's getting hit hard at training. He's bouncing straight back up.
Do you reckon is that a little bit of the boys just testing him?
Potentially.
You got to
potentially, yeah. Like
you want to know, don't you?
Yeah, you want to know that the bloke that you assign is going to be able.
He's going to come
trust
position.
Yeah,
as well.
And let's be honest, in league you're going to be tested defensively, especially in the position he's looking to play. So, look, that stands out for me, and so there's no concern that he's going to handle the defensive load of what league's going to throw at him. He's going to eat it up. And then it's just a matter of him now fine-tuning and understanding. Obviously, he'll move into 7 or 6 eventually. He's been playing centre in Q Cup, which I think's a good start for him.
Good transition.
Yeah, just to see the game from out there and get an idea of the flow. But, now it's just a matter of him understanding how to run a team and get a team around the paddock. Once he gets that, he's got all the skill set, all the attributes to have a long and illustrious career.
I can't wait for him, that pale skin of his, to get the Queensland summer to get hold of his pale skin.
He'll be tanned up.
Hey, now, Rat, you don't know why Foz is here, okay? So we've set all this up, and you're unaware of why he's here, okay? But so
this is a G-up.
So, Foz, can you please explain to the listeners and also Rat why you're actually here?
Yeah, I can. So we've put a sting on here, Rat, that you didn't know about, but I've popped in today. Obviously, you are a legend at Cronulla, 123 games for the Sharkies. You are a legend at the Titans, 77 games. And so we thought it would be fitting as a club to offer you the opportunity to deliver the match ball for this weekend's game.
Wow.
Friday night, 6 p.m, we want you to walk out, mate, before the game and deliver the match ball.
That would be an absolute honour, Foz. Thank you, mate. Thank you, Titans.
Mate, our pleasure.
Well, I won't lose it between now and then.
No.
I'm obviously going to need it, but wow, that's really cool. Appreciate it.
No, mate, you're a huge part of. Obviously, I saw you on the weekend at the Old Boys Day, and we've had some chats throughout the year about getting the old boys heavily involved. It's a big part of our club, and it's a huge part of the history. And we want our side now to know the role that you blokes played in laying the foundations of the Gold Coast Titans. And we would absolutely love you to deliver the match ball.
Well, that's a huge honour, mate. And I will say a big thank you to the Titans. And I know, Foz, you had a bit to do with it, and a lot of the administration there that have got behind the scenes and put our first Titans Old Boys Day on the weekend, and to see a few old faces and old teammates. I mean, it's been 13 years since I retired, so to catch up with a lot of those guys. I'll tell you what, I had a bit of a sore head on Sunday. So I'm glad it's only once a year.
We're calling the game on Friday night
are.
for SEN League, so you're going to have to go down and do that.
Yeah.
We'll carry the can for you
Thanks,
while you go and
mate.
do something
Appreciate
that's a big part of your career.
No, I appreciate
Yeah.
it. Well, thanks to the Titans, and I had an absolute ball finishing my career up here, so it'll be a real honour to do that.
So we'll be able to listen to Rat on Friday night, 6 o'clock kickoff, and our SEN League coverage starts then as well. So we'll be able to talk to you about how it made you feel.
Be special.
Awesome.
Forward to it.
Now, before we let you go, Foz, sitting 11th, you're on 22 points. You're 2 wins away from the Dragons, are on 26. Do you dare to dream?
We do, mate.
Yeah.
We certainly do. We we've got all the belief that we can win our remaining 5 games. I know some people will say it's a fairly tough draw, and it is. There's no denying that. But I think with the sort of footy we're playing at the moment, we would back ourselves against anyone, and that'll be but it's one game at a time. It'll be no different this weekend.
Can you push the
cliched button?
button?
Yeah, sorry.
Get ready.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you got it?
Cliche, there she is.
Daddy
You can't find the
Vasselfine.
button.
Now I've lost me trainer.
There we go. There's a cliche button.
Cliche,
Yeah, look, we got Sharkies on Friday night, so.
Yep.
we'll
Yeah,
go
look,
for that.
I can't. I mean, we talked about it last week, or it might have even been last night. I mean, Penrith won on the weekend. They weren't, exceptional in their victory. You see Melbourne get beat. The Roosters got beat a couple of weeks ago in a game they shouldn't have lost. I mean, who?
I just think the style the Titans are playing, which is quite an expansive attacking style of footy,
Fast.
it's outside the norm, and a lot of clubs don't know how to defend it. That's what's frightening about coming up against these guys at the moment.
Yep. Well, I'm certainly dreaming. I hope you. Yep. As the Titans are, and look, it was a rough start for the Titans, but it's been a big finish, and it was great to see a packed Seabus Stadium.
It was.
Last weekend against the Broncos. I'm sure you'll have plenty of fans out there supporting you on Friday night against the Sharkies.
Thanks, Rat.
Foz, thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Sats.
Appreciate it. Rat, well done.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Great to have you there, mate.
Yeah. Let's get to a break here on Sports Day, and you get your tickets for the Titans versus Sharks this Friday night on the Gold Coast. Head to Ticketmaster to get your tickets right now. Sats and Rat for a Tuesday night.